All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles, elders, the great millstone, that rule world that taught us truth, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is Rabbi Yakal. Coming with another lesson, prophecy update. Lord willing, it'll be edifying. I'm going to show you what's been happening, all right, in Ireland. Now, bear in mind, right? And we're going to talk about Northern Ireland, all right? And the reason why we're going to talk about Northern Ireland, all right, because as soon as I pressed on Google, it said riots, okay? All right, now, the UK, you can see here, the UK, all right, I'm down here in London, right? Okay. Now, remember, under King James, who was an Israelite, you know, an Israelite king, black king, who was born in Edinburgh, Scotland, all right, he ruled down here, and he united the kingdoms, right? And it wasn't just, down here you have Republic of Ireland, and you have Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland, the northern part of Ireland, is basically a part of the Union, all right, the UK, okay? Ireland here, which is called Republic of Ireland, which they call Southern Ireland, okay, is a member of the EU, okay? So Northern Ireland, Scotland, England, and Wales is run by this devil, the so-called white man, okay? Bear that in mind when we come into this story, all right? And also bear in mind, all right, and this is from the Belfast Times, and Belfast is the capital of Northern Ireland, all right? This is from their Freemason, one of the head of their Freemason lodges. He says, Belfast Telegraph, there is nothing sinister about us. Head of Freemasons debunks myths around world's oldest secret society. As organization toasts 300 years on the island, all right? Richard Ensar, all right, talks secret handshakes, charity fundraisers, and why he is not adverse to women joining the Freemasons. And they do have women that are basically, you know, under Freemason control. Okay? Now, just bear that in mind, because recently, okay, and now remember, the Freemasons, this is from Universal Co-Masonry, all right, one of their monikers is the phrase here, Ordo Ab Kao, all right, is the motto of the 33 degree, okay? 33 degrees is the highest degree in Freemasonry. It's a mockery of Yahushai, all right, because they believe that they are gods in their own right the more they ascend up the Freemason ladder. But Ordo Ab Kao, all right, means order, which is down here. It says here, if you go to the second paragraph, it says, indeed, Ordo Ab Kao translated to order from chaos. All right, order from chaos. Bear that in mind when I show you what's been happening in Ireland in the last couple of days. And this is all set up by the Freemasons, and I'm going to show you why this is set up. All right, it's prophecy, yes, but there's a reason why I believe, which is clear, that they constructed this. All right, let's go.
Entire community distressed by what they've seen. Justice must, of course, take its course and deliver for that victim whose family have asked for calm. But last night brought further outrage. Children in my constituency and others lifted out of their beds as their homes burned. Masked men roamed the streets, going door to door, menacing and setting fire to cars and buses and homes, terrorising people on the basis of the colour of their skin or the sound of their voice. So many people are frightened to walk the streets and frightened to be in their own homes tonight. For all the online agitators who stoke this stuff up, when they move on to their next target, we'll be the ones left to pick up the pieces.
All right, Claire, let's start from the top.
Okay, so let me explain what happened. A couple of days ago, they said that a refugee, all right, a migrant from Sudan, attacked a Northern Irish white guy and had injuries so bad, this white guy, that he's lost an eye. All right, and there's even a video online of the attack. This is clearly what they call a false flag. Okay, all right, false flag. Okay, all right. Let's see what false flag means. A false flag operation is a covert action. Covert means to be in secret. All right, designed to deceive people into believing it was carried out by some other than the actual perpetrators. And basically, all this attack, I mean, you can watch it online. It's not, I wouldn't watch it online. It's done by these guys. Okay? And the reason why, I mean, basically what happened was, all right, basically what happened was that over there in Northern Ireland, they were coming together because Northern Ireland, the fuel, all right, to heat a home and to have petrol in a car is so expensive that people are basically pissed off. Businesses came together to do protests. This was about a month and a half ago, all right? So the average common person was coming together, but to divide them, order out of chaos, they basically did this false flag, which I believe is a false flag, all right? Ain't no migrant from Sudan, all right, gonna come to Ireland and just at random grab someone off the street and stab them in the eyes. But this is the thing that they staged. Now, is there a lot of immigrants in Northern Ireland? Yeah, there is, but it's tiny. It's like 3% or whatever. Okay, they did this to draw attention away from the fuel crisis, because the Masons, the one thing they want is division. Okay, they don't want people coming against them. They want division. Okay. All right, let's listen to a little bit more of this actually, and not actually. Let me prove. All right, because it's not a theory; it's facts. Okay. This was. Let's see here. All right. This was what? Just over a month ago. Have a listen to this.
Fuel's not really that dear if you take the tax off it. We have money for everything else. We can spend overseas. We can help people come into this country. We can't help our own people. We need to sort something out. It's not just for the farmer. It's for the ordinary housewife going in and getting their shopping, putting £20 or £40 of diesel or petrol into her car. It's everybody's affected. It's not just us. We're just a group that's out here that has a bit of clout and a bit of voice to do it. Everybody's individual. You know, there's no group or set a lot of people doing this. It's on your own bat. Get off your hands. Don't be sitting on your hands. Try and get something and do something for us. Fuel's not really...
See, so as you can see, that was just over a month ago. All right. If you don't believe me, let's look again. Actually, let me not do that one. But they were coming together. All right. They were coming together to protest the government, what they're doing, because it's making it hard to live up there. All right. And then they did this false flag. And that's all it is. It's nothing but a false flag. All right. More proof here.
Can't.
To start, you choose.
convertible backpack hoodie so you don't
have to find a way to divide people and distract them. And to me, that's what this is. I'm going to cover the Belfast riots that are happening. They're going door to door attacking immigrants, right? And on one hand, you can understand why, but they're, again, always remember this: chaos favors the establishment. And so the idea that they have flooded Western Europe on purpose with immigrants from war-torn countries that NATO and the United States and Israel have been blowing the crap out of or enabling, keep that in mind, right? And because so they never look at the cause. They're only attacking the symptom, and the symptom is a flooding of immigrants in your country. So keep that in mind, right? So here is this is a clip from Tucker's show, and they're going to explain how this all came to be. And then we're going to cover the riots. Okay.
The doomed ideology of conservatism. Why did it never conserve anything? Conservatism has largely become a kind of political and media phenomenon in which you monetize outrage by whinging about terrible effects and never investigate causes. If you want to solve the problem, have a look at where they come from. That might be a good start. But if you do solve the problem, then poof, your audience disappears. It is kind of fatal to the grifter. We should try and move beyond that model of simply spectating, of being kind of voyeurs of the obscenity of our own existence, and try and say, can't we do better? And you can't do better if you don't know how bad has been done.
You are pointing a finger to the cause of the problems and not just hyperventilating about the problems themselves, as I did, for example, on Fox News for so long. So congratulations to you, shame on me, but notice who had a higher paying job. So I guess that kind of, you're making your point.
So, and what are some of the causes?
The war industry is a huge crisis management model that saturates our political class and effectively sponsors them and then permissions further misadventures that result in mass destruction, misery, and of course, magnifying the scale of mass migration. If you look into mass migration, it has been missold to us as a human rights affair. It's not. It's a business. It's become an industry at scale where governments and NGOs permission the arrival of millions of people, which are often transported into the West by criminal gangs that charge them considerable amounts of money to do so. And this, in turn, was created by these pointless wars that we've fought time and again over the last decades. The war industry
It's the war industry. Again, the terrorists are us. And that's what creates this mass migration. That's why they get rid of Gaddafi. A reason they got rid of Gaddafi was to open the spigot for refugees to come through Libya and flood Western Europe. This is planned.
And that's a beautiful statement. It was planned. And by the way, they got rid of Gaddafi for several reasons. The gold currency, and also to do this whole migration thing. All right. There was even a French president. His name is Sarkozy. Sarkozy. That's it, Nicolas Sarkozy. This guy. All right. He made a statement years ago on mixing. Don't know if I can find it. That's it. Let's see if I can find it. Not have a single blanket statement. No, he did. He had I can't find it here, but sounds allies or what comments. There was anyway. This guy, Sarkozy, one of the former presidents of France. He said that European whites will be forced to mix with immigrants. You know, if they don't do it voluntarily, they will do it by force. All right. You know, and this guy was corrupt. Okay. Very, very corrupt. Okay. And France is corrupt. So what this guy is saying, Jimmy Dore, let me go back, it's true. All right. This has all been planned, man. They want that because they want divide and conquer. But guess what? Their Heavenly Father wants that. Okay? Alright? And the reason why Heavenly Father wants it, and He's permitting it, because I think that was about a week, 2 weeks ago. You know, I did a video on, no, about 3 weeks ago. I did a video on race rights. Well, race rights is in the Bible. Okay? Alright? Okay? Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation. Okay? Nation against nation. Nationality. Okay? If you go into the Greek, if you're in the blue letters, ethnos. Alright? So we're going to have this, man. That's one of the prophecies in the Bible. So there has to be a run-up to it. But what they were doing over there in Belfast was wicked, man. They were going door to door. Alright? They were going door to door. Let me try and see if I can find it. They were going door to door, smashing people's doors open. You know, if you had an accent, if you were black, if you were Asian, even if you were white and you was like a Romanian or, you know, Romani gypsy or, you know, gypsy or whatever, you know, they would just drag you out your house, man. Burn it down. You know? Okay? They were being wicked, man. You know? And by the way, some of them could be Israelites, because there's a lot of Israelites in Ireland, man. Who probably don't even know they're Israelites, man. You know? But if they're not of the elect, fuck them anyway. You know? Because you have to remember that Ireland, Scotland and England, but in particular Ireland, Scotland, was ruled by the tribe of Benjamin. Alright? Until they got deported by Cromwell. Okay? And his, what's it called? The people after him. Alright? So there's a lot of, what's the word? You know, there's a lot of probably Jakes in Ireland who don't even know that they're Israelites, man. They probably just think they're a pasty white person, you know? But they were going door to door, man. Okay? But that is in the Bible, okay? Alright? Again, as well, Isaiah 13:14. And it shall be as the chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land. Okay? Alright? This is what's going to happen in the future. Okay? So we have to have a build up to it. Verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Alright? Everyone captured shall be cut down, put to death. Everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Okay? You join onto the enemy, you're going to die with the enemy. Alright, verse 16. Their children shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled. That's what happened in Ireland, in Northern Ireland. And their wives ravished. And ravished means what? Graped. Okay? Alright? Okay? And this is a future prophecy, man. Okay? So, the Lord is giving us a glimpse of this chaos that is coming. Alright? Through these events. Let's keep going.
And that's what that guy's saying. And he's also saying that the people who are the most outraged about it in conservative media are never talk about the cause. They'll never tell you it was why we got rid of Gaddafi. They'll never talk about the Iraq war. They'll never talk about Syrian war. They'll never talk about Yemen and Somalia and all the Senegal. They'll never talk about any of that stuff. The causes of the mass migration. People don't want to leave their countries, but when you bomb the hell out of them and kill them, they do. So here, let's anything you want to say so far, Garland?
Well, no, it's exactly that. And not only do they cause these problems, and then they benefit from them. You go to the wealthiest neighborhoods and you look at the people that's cutting their grass and cleaning their houses and watching their children. You know, they drive down the cost of labor using this. And then when the cost of labor is driven down and regular people are hurt economically, and we're looking for someone to blame, they say, don't look at the ruling class who made the decisions to create this problem. Look at the people that are impoverished and are being abused here, or being mistreated here, just like you are.
So if you tried to put a CD or DVD in your laptop anymore, well, good luck. Because today, they don't come with CD.
Yes, very. So again, if you find yourself being angry at someone lower on the economic ladder than you, pretty sure you're being manipulated by someone higher on the economic ladder than you. And so they're attacking a symptom, which is the migrant in their country, instead of the cause, which is the military industrial complex, the Western world, and NATO. Okay, so so now we're going to cover what's actually happening now. Police in Northern Ireland say they have arrested a Sudanese man in his 30s for a brutal stabbing attack in Belfast late Monday night. Graphic video of the incident shows a man straddling another man lying in a street and slashing him several times in the head and neck with a knife. Eventually, a group of bystanders intervenes, hitting the attacker with a stick until the police arrive. The victim survived and is in the hospital with severe injuries. Okay, so I don't think we can show this.
Don't.
So I'm not going to show it. But there it is. Very disturbing. Okay, so we'll go past it. So Crystal in her monologue says coward.
And it is very disturbing, but it's probably just crisis actors. You know what I mean? This is what it's meant to do. It's meant to whip up people's emotions and feelings, so you can turn against each other and not look to the real source of the problem, which is the establishment. You know? Order out of chaos. Okay?
The illegal tried to behead a man. It went far beyond a stabbing attack, tell the truth. So here's what the escalation. Cars with migrants are getting attacked. The police are calling for backup. Anti-beheading riots are in full swing. People are pissed, says Lord Bebo. Here we go.
Holy shit, man. Oh! Holy fuck.
They just kicked this whole car in.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Get me out of here, you're gonna drive into me, bro. He just punched him.
What the fuck?
So there's more. Breaking. Protesters in Belfast are going house to house looking for migrants to evict them.
They're all shouting like fuck off.
So remember, when rioting in response to violent aggressors, be absolutely certain to focus on moms with children who are just going shopping to vent your rage, completely ignoring the known troublemakers who don't drive family sedans. It's the oligarchs who created this situation.
There you go, and that's well said. But you know, we're dealing with imbeciles here. You know, all right. This is what the scriptures call what? Satan's devices. Remember, order out of chaos. All right, and that's why when all this was going on, people like Elon Musk was tweeting, because he's a puppet. He's a Mason. He gets an email, he gets a letter, and he does what he's told. Oh, we want you to say anything about what happened in Ireland. You know, oh yeah, immigration, this and that. Because that's going to do two things. Number one, it's going to bring these race riots closer. All right. And it's only by the grace of the Heavenly Father that none of our people died, because there's a lot of Israelites in Belfast, man. You know, people that are from Uganda, some that are from West Africa, Nigeria, and so forth, man. Do you know what I mean? All right. But so many of them, their houses are burnt. They were going door to door, all for what one Sudanese guy did. And when you watch that video, I'm not going to watch it. Oh, I mean, when you watch that video, some other guy said that he was driving home late and he was taking his son from hurling class and he saw the attack and then he just used his bat and he's classed as a hero now. And there's no one else around in that scene whatsoever, you know? I mean, I'm sure if that were happen, see, again, it's just a false flag. You know what I mean? But the hatred that Esau has for us, all right, is in his heart, man. Okay, so that's a synopsis of what's going to happen in Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, and that's why you should continuously, day to day, always anyway, pray for protection, man. Okay, because this is Satan's devices. It's going to get really ugly, man. You know, we can't make it out like, oh, everything's going to be great in Jacob's trouble. The Heavenly Father is going to bring a chariot and he's just going to beam up all the believers. And none of our houses are going to be bashed in by crackers. None of our houses are going to be, our mums, our dads are not going to be assaulted. Or our house is not going to be broken into. It don't say that, man. We have to tell you the truth. Okay? But the Lord is using the left-hand side, which is Satan, all right, to do these things. Okay? To bring forth prophecy. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. All right? Lest Satan should get an advantage of us. All right? For we are not ignorant of his devices. Okay? We are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant. We know his devices. Okay? I'll read it in the NLT. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. So that Satan will not outsmart us. See? All right? For we are familiar with his evil schemes. There you go. That's the benefit of being locked into the truth. All right? Hey, because a nigga could get angry at that. You know, what happened to these migrants, and all the people. There was footage of police in riot gear saving a lot of blacks and other minorities there, man. You know what I mean? Putting them in the back of a police car, driving them somewhere. You know, Jake's over there or Jake's here could get angry and just go outside, and if Edomite looks at them the wrong way and just bash their head in, man. You know, you can get angry at these things, but we know that there is a hidden hand. These are Satan's devices. Satan is what? What does Satan mean? Adversary. So we know, man. Okay? And it was just when the people were coming together because of the fuel crisis. This man's a devil. So we'll keep tabs on this. All right. Last scripture. All right, now I'll give it to a close. All right. This is Proverbs 29 and 1. He that is often reproved, all right, harden his neck, all right, shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. And that's what's going to happen to this devil, the so-called white man. He doesn't want to be reproved. He doesn't want to be corrected. He doesn't want criticism. All right, he doesn't want any criticism. That's why when they had the whole fuel protests, all right, they organized this shit, man. All right, because he doesn't want to do anything for the people, because he's wicked. He doesn't even care about his own people, and he definitely certainly doesn't care about us and other minorities. He did all of this shit just so he can get the average person off his back. It's incredible, man. Alright? Alright, verse 2, Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And no one's rejoicing at the moment. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And them people over there, them whites in Northern Ireland, alright, let me be honest with you, they shouldn't be taking out their problems on us or other minorities. That shows how wicked they are. But they're not living good, man. I'm not going to lie to you. They're not living good. They live in segregated communities. Remember, half of them are loyalists. Loyalists are people that believe in the crown of England, right? Okay, and the Union. And then you have the Catholics, all right, who is a huge number, who want Ireland basically to be a republic, you know, and that includes Northern Ireland, man. Okay, so it's split down many lines. It's had many troubles. All right, so the Catholics and the Republicans and the Royalists were at it for years, killings, bombings, you know what I mean, so forth. It was like an English colony, you know. And to be honest, that really started with us in the Middle Ages. They you know, even though there were whites back then, all right, but it was mainly the tribe of Benjamin, and they were Catholics. And we're talking about like after Henry VIII said, listen, forget about Rome. You know, we're gonna have our own religion. We're gonna have our own church, the Church of England, and so forth. The whole troubles in Ireland really start from them, okay? And the tribe of Benjamin was in Ireland and Scotland, you know, and they were treated badly. Them Edomites over there in Northern Ireland, and some of them are Jakes, but most of them are Edomites. They actually believe that history was theirs. If you ask them about Cromwell, they would say, oh yeah, Cromwell came over and slaughtered all our ancestors. That wasn't you, man. All right? That was us. All right? The people that you call so-called West Indians, man. They were the Catholics. They were the Black Irish. Okay? So, the righteous are not in authority, which is us. Therefore, the people what? Are not rejoicing. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And they're mourning right now. All right? They're angry, they're frustrated. But hang on. All right, let's just say that was a real attack, which it wasn't an attack. So because of one immigrant does something bad, you're gonna, go to anyone who's an immigrant and just beat the hell out of them and, burn them out of the house. Totally irrational. And that shows that they're weak, man. Okay? And that shows that they are exactly what is in verse 1. He that cannot be reproved, all right, corrected, all right, criticized, all right, harden his neck, shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. And that's what's going to happen to all these devils, man, when Yahushua comes back. And also when we are in power under Yahushua, all right. If you're an Edomite, I don't give a goddamn if you're in Ireland and you've had a bad life. We're gonna bash your head in, man. There's absolutely no reason, all right, why you should do that. Over here, about a couple of months ago in Epsom, which is a nice Edomite area, all right, 4 white men who are were accused of raping or graping a Edomite woman. And you know where they did it? They did it outside a church, in a churchyard, man. All right? People are pissed at that. So, did you see mobs of minorities going around, and looking for any white man, and beating the crap out of them, because of that one crime? No. Because we're rational and reasonable. You see? Okay? So that's what's going on. But it's showing you that this could be the summer where all hell can break loose, man. So keep praying for protection every day. For you and your loved ones, but mostly for the elect. All right? So listen, I pray you're edified. Till next lesson, shalom.